Hey Carson, I'm Julianna Furfari, and we're here at Pettisville High School where Caleb, Becca, and Joshua attended. And let me tell you, everyone here in Pettisville is so excited to hear them perform tonight, including their former choral instructor, Dwayne Beck. Dwayne, what's it been like watching them progress over the last couple of weeks? As this scene is expansive, it stretches multiple streets, multiple blocks. We're here on Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard. If you take a look, there are two vehicles here that appear to have been involved in this situation. Today, we're working to get your questions answered. What we know now is that the suspect has been positively identified. I asked Indiana State Police when that person's name will be released, and we were told that multiple agencies are coordinating on the release of that information. We also know that Michigan State Police was the only agency to fire a weapon. You've been watching a CBS News special report as former President Donald Trump is being arraigned in a federal court in Washington, D.C. You can continue watching that on our website, WSBT.com. We will monitor the coverage and go back if news warrants. And right now, we want to give you a look at what's been happening today. Former President Trump arrived in D.C. about an hour ago. He is being formally charged in a federal court with 4 felonies related to his alleged actions to overturn the 2020 presidential election. All I know, though, is we better be splitting it if one of us wins tonight. Beautiful day in California, and also going to be a beautiful day tomorrow for anybody looking to get to the lake or the pool. Yeah, Jake, you know, a lot of people, of course, mourning tonight, but at the same time, a lot of people also wondering what comes next. Now, today's open water training was designed to prevent those tragedies, but local advocates say that lifeguards cannot save lives if they're not there. I'm already making my weekend plans, and Sunday is the day I'm picking for all my errands and all the chores I've been putting off now for a few days, so that's a day to stay inside and get that stuff done. Exactly. I broke out the snow boots. I'm always ready to go. You know, you never know what's going to happen. And let me tell you, this is like a fashion statement, the dress and the snow boots. Come on now. New at 5, new investigations into a troubled rehabilitation center. We continue to work on this story relentlessly after 3 people died and another overdosed in just 1 week at the beginning of the month. I'm Julianna Furfari. While year-over-year improvements are there, test results are still down from pre-pandemic levels in nearly every grade and every subject. So what trends are we seeing and where do we go from here? Tonight, I'm looking at the meaning behind those numbers. The printing plant has long been a staple in the community, and the mayor of Warsaw tells us that local families will be impacted. AECOM says Trump's lawyers are already working cases in New York and Florida for alleged hush money payments and keeping classified documents after leaving office. While advocates say this will help people find better paying jobs and more affordable housing, one local prosecutor says it could potentially mean revisiting cases that are already closed. Visiting South Bend, former Vice President Mike Pence spoke to students today about politics and what remain his top priorities. We'll tell you the reason for his visit tonight. It is right here that students say that the driver slammed on the brakes in retaliation for students misbehaving. Now, while students are claiming they were injured by the action, investigators say it's this video that calls into question their account. A grocery store right here on Lincoln Way East in Mishawaka is where Shelly Ann Warner was abducted. Her body located 10 days later on Madison Road near an abandoned railroad line. A robbery at a Pennsylvania Apple store went downhill when the suspect apparently injured himself. Video captures the moment he tried to escape by jumping from the 2nd floor of that mall. Detectives in South Bend say that 18-year-old Dominic Williams Jr. was arrested last night at a hotel in Fishers, Indiana. Police have been on the hunt for the murder suspect since that April 20th shooting. Good afternoon. First at 4, a trailer full of supplies stolen from a clothing pantry in Elkhart. Children's Resale brings in thousands of gently used clothes and toys and sells them at a discounted price to the community twice a year. Backpacks like this will soon be a thing of the past in South Bend. We're here in downtown Toledo at the ProMedica building where in just a few minutes I'll be rappelling down this 16-story building. I know, it's just your average Thursday. First things first, it's time to get our gear, because if you're going to rappel 16 stories, well, you got to do it in style. We have a harness, a helmet. Do I look like a professional? Gloves, and of course, you can't forget the GoPro. And hey, I hope you aren't afraid of heights, because you're coming along with us too. Door knocking and holding each other accountable. It's a new approach on a neighborhood watch enacted by many who live on Huey Street. They say that with the help of police, they are hopeful for the future.
But this community has been going to hell slowly but surely.
It's been chaotic. I don't really go outside like that.
Neighbors say shootings and violence are not uncommon, especially when parties take place.
We can't get no sleep.
Right, yeah.
So we up to 3, 4 in the morning.
I experienced a few incidents. I seen with my own eyes, next door neighbor. I seen some killings. I see a couple of friends of mine laying on the ground, shot, senseless killing, couple stabbings.
On Saturday, when cars packed Huey for a gathering and neighbors noticed the disturbance, they called police to be present and talk to each other about keeping the guns away.
What's on the menu? Death, shooting, a beatdown. So I use my humor to be able to get them to lower their weapons and things like that. And I asked them, I said, every time we do this, it's always a shooting. And I said, it's not police shooting us. I said, we're shooting each other.
Roosevelt Stewart lives on Huey Street. He thinks that the police presence made a difference and has made it his mission to let people know.
If we can just have them guys out here just park, that'll get somebody on their conscience to say, wait a minute, I better think twice. And I would rather have them thinking twice than to only think once, and then we all sitting out here crying.
Neighbors say that a weekend without a shooting on Huey Street is a success, but there is still more work to be done.
We need protection from ourselves because it's just one look or one conversation can lead into a gunshot or somebody's dead. So we all realizing this and we awoken to this and we all want to embrace it and we all want to give it a shot.
While Saturday was busy and not perfect, some neighbors do have something they didn't have on Friday: hope.
If we walk together, we work together, and we talk together, I think it'll be fine.
I talked to South Bend Police today. A spokesperson told me that they're thankful for community support and the willingness to work once again with police. Police say no call is too small. At the live desk, Julianna Furfari, WSBT 22 News. Two neighbors tell me they were driving by and saw the animals in the road. While trying to help get those animals back onto the property, they were shocked by what they found. When the neighbors drove by the property in Bristol, they had the same thought: stop and get the animals out of the road. That's when they realized this was much more than animals that escaped.
We did find decaying carcass, and that was unpleasant to smell. The animals were pretty frightened too. I think they had a sense that something was not good.
We're okay, guys.
After calling police and unsuccessfully trying to get in touch with the owner of the property, they secured the animals and they also documented the conditions inside and shared those videos with WSBT.
Something needs to be done with those. I don't know who's feeding them and when and how often and what are they gonna leave them there, and if so, who's gonna be taking care of them? We can't leave all those animals just fend for themselves because they can't fend for themselves.
A public records request with the Indiana State Board of Animal Health shows this was not the first time the owner of that property, Josiah Wingard, has been in trouble for similar conditions. The Elkhart County Sheriff's Office has an active felony warrant for failure to dispose of dead animals unrelated to this situation. The State Board of Animal Health investigated an incident in 2021. During that investigation, poultry and one goat was removed from the property. A year ago, a similar investigation found several violations, including improper disposal of dead animals, failure to provide proper veterinary care, and dealing livestock without a license. I just checked a short time ago. Right now, the State Board of Animal Health is not taking part in this week's investigation. Anyone with any information on Wingard's whereabouts should contact the Elkhart County Sheriff's Office.
Don't do me like this. That's all I kept saying. He just kept going.
Lakenda Denise Hale was pleading with the middle schooler as he took off in her 1997 Toyota Corolla.
That's all I have in my 4 cats.
Hale and Roosevelt Stewart spotted the young boy around 9 this morning walking on Huey Street. The boy, the neighbors describe as around 13 years old, asked for a ride to school. Hale agreed and even offered lunch money to him when he said that he had nothing to eat. When she went to retrieve her wallet, the boy drove off in her car, her belongings inside.
We didn't think that he would do nothing like that. It was like, okay, all right, we're getting you to school. That's all he wanted to go to school. That was it.
A report was filed with police when the vehicle was stolen, but Hale did not want the theft to end in a greater tragedy.
I said, if it's moving, don't go to it. Because he gonna get scared and he gonna leave. I don't want the man to get, the young boy to be hurt.
Despite the disappointment, Hale and Stewart said this will not deter them from digging deeper into the problems that young people in the community are facing.
We want to get to the underlying issue that's causing most of our teens to act out the way they're acting now.
I'm hurt right now. I'll get over it. I never stop.